I didn't see Reb Shlomo lately.
Last week he wasn't well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And
Okay, before Shlomo. Is he better this week?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay, Be'ez Hashem. And with Binyamin I hadn't seen him for a while. Binyamin Buko.
Yeah.
Okay. We miss everyone. Okay, what do we say? Let's start. In this pasuk, in the weekly portion, Parshas Boy, Perek Yud Beis, pasuk Memches. We'll start from here. I guess it starts in pasuk Mem Gimel, just to see Vayomer Hashem el Moshe Aaron Tzois Chukas HaPasach B'chol Eved Ish Mikne Kesef B'chol Adas Yisrael Yasuto. Then pasuk Memches. V'chi yagur itchager ba'osa Pesach LaHashem himo lo kol zachor va'az yikram la'asorsoi v'aya ke'ezrach ha'oretz v'chol hareh lo yochal bo. Says Rashi, pasuk Memches. The first Rashi, v'osa Pesach yochol kol ha'mizgar yasa Pesach miyad. Again, when he converts, he'll do a Pesach any day of the year that he converts, even in the middle of the year. And if he converts on Chanukah, he should do a Korban Pesach then also. A funny kind of Havamina. Talmud Loimar, Vaya ke'ezrach ha'aretz. Ma ezrach b'Yudalet, avger b'Yudalet. That's Lashon Rashi, he's quoting the Mechilta. Why would I have such a Havamina? Why would I say that? Yochol kol Hamizgar Yasa Pesach Miyad. Because look at the pasuk, guys. It says V'chiyatchu Yasa Pesach. It doesn't say when. There's no date. V'chiyagur Itcha Pesach V'chiyagur Itcha Yasa Pesach L'Hashem. It doesn't say a date. Since it's lacking a date, maybe whenever he converts.
It is saying the date. When he does, when he's Megayer. Then he does.
Yeah, so that's the date. Good. Therefore, the pasuk, this Havamina is rooted in the pasuk. What's the svar? We'll see soon. So therefore, to exclude from that, the pasuk goes on saying, "Vaya ke'ezrach ha'aretz, ma ezrach b'Yudalet, af ger b'Yudalet." So, why did the Torah write in such an oifen that the reisha is a little bit misleading, and you need the sefer to rectify it? So say straight. Why is it written in such a kind of event? It's written, the first words, it's written in a way that the date is omitted, and this is misleading, the way it seems, because it seems any day of the year. Kamash Malan, the hemshech of the pasuk, ke'ezrach, ma'ezrach b'Yudalet af b'Yudalet. So the pasuk Kashi is, so don't write the sefer in a misleading way, that you'll need the sefer to rectify it. Just say dugri. You know what dugri means in Hebrew? We spoke about it. What does dugri mean today? It's a slang. What does it mean? Straight to the point. That's the pasuk without it. We asked about it before. So what's the pshat in this Rashi? Now, what's the Havamir to make the Gesher do immediately? So this is Alta Torah. The Meir Simchas Mechadesh, the Korban Pesach is also a Korban of Gerus. And if a Ger brought Korban Pesach, usually a Ger has to bring a Korban, the Tvila of the Korban. If he didn't bring Korban Pesach, that's enough. So, meaning that we spoke about many times, that Korban Pesach is part of our identity. That's how we became Yidden, by doing a Bris Milah and Korban Pesach. And therefore I would think a Ger has to go through the same process. Well, a Bris Milah, Yitaka does say, right? A Bris Milah Yitaka does do, I'm sorry. Maybe he has to also come Pesach. When Perek Yud Beis Pasuk Memches. But the question still is, why is the Torah writing it in the oifen that could look misleading? V'asa Pesach. And I need the sefer to rectify it. Say Yashar V'asa Pesach Balbasa. It's a kashem shot. I want to ask another question. Tell me if the Olam agrees. Again, it says in Perek Yud Beis Pasuk Memches, v'asa Pesach, ma ezrach b'Yudalet, avger b'Yudalet. Why did you say Yudalet Nisan? Is that the normal way to say a date? Yudalet? The 14th. The 14th of what? I guess it means Nisan. Is that the way how you write it?
This sounds the guy between Pesach and Pesach Sheni.
We don't have Pesach Sheni yet, right? Pesach Sheni we're not. So again, we're in Paragid based Pasuk Memches, and we're focusing on Rashi's answer. The question is, Yachol, again, what does Rashi ask? Yachol kol ha-mizgar yasa Pesach miyad? Paragid based Pasuk Memches, on page 156. Whoever converts maybe should do a Pesach immediately? No. And again, the Havamina is rooted in the Pasuk. It's not Stama Havamina. Because the Pasuk doesn't mention a date. Kamash Malan, Yudalid. Does the Olam think it's a diuk or not? No? You can say Yudalid, it means
Like
listen.
It's synonymous with listen.
like we're having Pasuk Yud-Ches, Barishon Ba'al Sayed.
Where does it say Pasuk where? In Pasuk Yud Ches. It's going all the way back.
Yeah, but it says Barisha.
It says Barisha.
It says Barisha.
Misha means Chodesh Nisan. I think it's a shtickle ha'ara. And I looked it up, that's from Sheres of Chazal. Ma ezrach ba'arba'asar. I think it's a little bit Chazal. By the way, whenever you see those who were Mefarshim Rashi, they all added brackets. Arba'asar b'nisan. They all add it. To me, it seems a little bit chaser to say 14th. I guess I understand about it. It means 14th b'nisan. But it's funny that the Rashi himself didn't say it. So we have, meanwhile, when we say, how many questions do we have? On the pasuk, why is the pasuk written in the oifed that it's a little bit misleading? The Reisha, right? Because it doesn't say a date, so I might think it doesn't anytime it converts. Kamash from the Sefer, no ke'ezrach.
If you have a look at Pasuk Mem Aleph, Rashi says B'Nissan 3 times in the Rashi. Opposed to the
That would be good ha'ara. And pasuk Mem Aleph, but that's what Nisan, yeah. So maybe because he said it then he doesn't say it again? But you know what? I looked at the Chazal. Chazal didn't quote the Rashi before, and also said Ba'arba'asar. Okay. Again, I agree it's an earth-shattering kasha, but if we'll ever tear, it's all big ishvak. Rabbi said, what's the Havamina? Let's go over it again. That a ger should do a Korban Pesach whenever he converts. Because that's how we became bris with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. And since you need both, Bris Milah and Pesach together, maybe he has to do a Korban Pesach also. The Havamina makes sense. And it's rooted in the text. At the end of the day, it doesn't happen. What do you want to say about that?
I was going to say, the beginning of this parsha, Rashi says this, because of Pesach, B'Yudal B'Nissan Nemra and Parsha Zu. So that's very clear, B'Yudal B'Nissan. So he's encapsulating the whole of the parsha.
So how come he has to say test for this and test for this?
No, that's before the Zois Chodesh HaPesach. That's the previous parsha. Where you ask me he then starts Zois Chodesh HaPesach on Posing Mem Gilon at the beginning of this parsha. Zois Chodesh HaPesach. B'Yudal B'Nissan and Parsha Zu. So then it's not parsha, it's B'Yudal B'Nissan.
B'Yudal B'Nissan. I don't know.
Yeah, but it says that's when the parsha was said. It doesn't say that.
Yeah, but the parsha
relates to
and again,
that
Chazal say it, and Chazal didn't say that before. Oh, Michael Shalom Aleichem, Michael. It should be a year of Mitzvah Shem of Nechama for your family and your Abatz's Torah and Chidush Torah. So let's start again in honor of Michael and Richard that came in. Let's start again. Paragid based. I think there's something Givaldi here. I'm serious, but I need your help. Okay? And then we'll sum up together, publish it. Okay. I don't know where, how, what, but we'll find a place. We're in Paragid based Pasuk Memches. It's a good number, 1248. You know, like 12 times 4 is 48. It's like a few dozens. So what does it say in Paragid based Pasuk Memches? The Pasuk says, V'chiyagur yitchager, if you have a ger living amongst you, V'asa Pesach L'Hashem, Yimonu kol zachar, V'az yikam l'asosar, V'haki ezrach ha'aretz. Now it doesn't say, what does Rashi say in Pasuk Memches? Lama ne'ema, I'm sorry, skipped. Pasuk Memches. Yachol kol ha-mizgar yasa Pesach miyad. Maybe when a person converts on Chanukah, you should do Pesach. Then, Talmud Mar v'haki ezrach ha'aretz. Ma'azrach b'yudat, afger b'yudat. We have two questions on this, Rashi. What's the reason to say such kind of Havamina? A ger that converts, should he blow shofar? if he converts after Rosh Hashanah to make up for the shofar that he missed? Someone put the question like this: if he converts on Wednesday, should he keep Shabbos for the last Shabbos that he missed? Of course not. Why would you think he has to do Korban Pesach immediately?
That's a question of Rashi or a question on the pasuk?
The way Rashi learns the pasuk, Yechol Kol Mizgar Yaseh Pesach Miyad.
That's what the pasuk says.
What does the pasuk say?
V'chiyoger itcha ger v'asa Pesach l'Hashem.
And it doesn't say.
V'asa Shabbos l'Hashem.
It doesn't say a date. That's what you mean.
Yeah, it's
Meaning
the next words.
the Havim. Oh, the Shlomo Shalom Aleichem, we missed you very much. You feel okay?
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem.
Oh man.
You what? I'm sorry.
I met on the bus now to eat the house and home. That's why I'm not here on time.
Okay, 100%. Okay, everything should be great for all Yidden. I think you have new glasses. You have new glasses?
Oh, yeah.
בכל יום יהיו בעיניך כחדשים. כך כתוב. Okay, Rabbi say. The Havamina is rooted in the text because it doesn't say a date. But then I need the Sefer to rectify it. So question number one. So don't write the Havamina in a misleading way, and you won't need the Sefer to rectify. Just say straight. That's the person you doubt it. Question number one. Question number two. I find it, and the Olam very much agrees, that when it says Ma Esach Ba'arba Asar, you should say Arba Asar B'Nisan. Arba Asar? I guess you mean Nisan. Is that the way usually you mention the date? And I looked at the Chazal, the Mechida, also there it says Arba Asar. I don't think it's an earth-shattering question, but it's a Ha'ara. Ba'arba Asar. I guess you mean Nisan. But, okay, let's call the question number two. Rabbi say,
Not a brother.
what?
Pesach not a brother to listen.
Korban Pesach.
Korban Pesach. We're speaking about Korban Pesach. Okay. Rabbi said, let's give a look now in another pasuk in Chumash. You know, Rashi says this over almost verbatim. Baruch, where does Rashi say this over again? Okay, look at Bamidbar, Perek Tes, pasuk Yudalet.
Mishnah says Olav also. We know what the 14th. There's only one 14th.
Okay, good. Give a look. It's by Pesach Sheni. Give a look at Perek Tes, pasuk Yudalet. It's on page 359, on the bottom of the page. And here again, V'chi yagur itchem ger. By us it says V'chi yagur itcha ger. Okay, here it says Lashon Rabbi. V'chi yagur itchem ger v'asa Pesach l'Hashem kechukos ha-Pesach mishto ken yaseh. Chuk ha'achas yeh lachem v'lager v'lazach ha'aretz. Look at Rashi again over there. V'chi yagur itchem ger v'asa Pesach. It says Pesachim Tzad Gimel. It does not appear there. Yachol kol ha-mizgar yaseh Pesach miyad. Again, the same Havamina. Verbatim, the same Rashi. Literally, Yechol kol ha-mizgar yaseh Pesach miyad. Rashi in Bamidbar Perek Tes pasuk Yudalet. Talmud Lomar Chukah Achas. Again, once you already taught me not to make this mistake, why would I make the mistake again? Twice a mistake? Okay. And now here Rashi goes out and adds words. So why doesn't it say, how do you read the pasuk? So Rashi adds here, Elakach mashma'o, v'chi yagur itchem ger uba et lasot Pesach, and came the time to do a Pesach, im chaverov, they should do it. So Rashi's saying, yes, it doesn't say a date, but it means that date. And here Rashi explains, Elakach mashma'o, v'chi yagur itchem ger uba le'et, as a girsa, lasot Pesach, and the time arrived, so you should do it like everybody else. So Rashi is ironing out the pasuk. How come he didn't do it by us? In Shmois. If he would have done it the other way around, the first time he would explain how to smooth the pasuk, and not explain the second time. Okay, he said it once, he doesn't have to repeat it. But to say it the second time, and not the first time? Rabbi said, I looked at Otzar Chochmah, and I looked all over, nobody asks this kasha. I put it in Google, I put it in Otzar Chochmah, I put it on DB. I want to know why Rashi goes through the bother of smoothing the pasuk, because at the end of the day it doesn't say a date. It doesn't say a date. So I said, I'll tell you how to read the pasuk. Will come a ger, and you add in brackets, and the time of Pesach arrived. He should do it with his friends. But Rashi went a special mile to explain how to read the pasuk. He didn't do it in Pashas Boy, even though you have the exact identical problem. It's like, isn't this moiritic?
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
Yes.
Good. You know, all the years till today, I didn't notice that Rashi adds that supplement in Baloischa, which he didn't add in Mechilta, in Boy. But he does. יכול כאלה בסגר, תלמוד לומר, חוגה יחס. לקח משמעו, וכי יגור איתכם גר, הוא בא עת, או לעת, לעשות פסח, you have to add those words. הוא בא עת לעשות פסח עם חבריו, כחוג המשפט. How come Rashi adds it only the second time and not the first time? I don't have a clue on that one yet.
Is Rashi, is the Yudal here a Sifri?
No, that's Rashi on his own. That addition. Till then it's a Sifri.
So he's added the Sifri and the Mechilta.
And Mechilta he didn't add anything.
So that's so Mechilta and Sifri's come out the same within the Miller.
Yeah, and also the Sifri is the same, but he adds something in Balaischa. Which he didn't, which is, I understand why he's adding it, but why didn't he add it by Pashas Boy?
The context is slightly different because
What?
Because here the context is a bit different because here we're talking about Pesach, there he's talking about Pesach Sheni.
No. This pasuk is speaking according to Al Mefarshim and Pesach Rishon.
In the second year.
It's mentioned by Pesach Sheni, but this pasuk again, the Evan Ezra brings two shitas, but we always thought it's Pesach Rishon.
What's changed in the meantime is that there is now a concept of Sasheni.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, so one second, let's go over it again. So there's a bunch of kashas here. Let's see what we could come out here with clarity. We have a kasha on boy, or for that matter, Baloischa on its own. Why are you writing the pasuk in a way that's misleading? And then you need to rectify it. I meant this, not that. Say straight. Why is it written like this? That's a kasha. Okay, so on that the answer I think is, Chevra, the Havamina is right. It's not misleading. There's something emes here. In principle, Korban Pesach should have been done every day when he converts. On the day that he converts, Korban Pesach should have been done. Why? Keshem Shavuseinu Nichnusu Lebris. The Gemara says in Krisis Daftes, B'mila u b'korban. So too, everybody who's a ger should come and do he does a mila. Then he does, of course, when he converts. He should do also Korban Pesach. Meaning Korban Pesach is it's not like a Korban of a Yom Tov. It's a Korban of the Gamra. You got to do a Korban Pesach. You got to do it on that day. There's a chiyuv chorus for Yochid if he doesn't mean Korban Pesach. It means it's something totally incumbent upon himself. It's not of this man. There's no chorus if you don't bring a Korban on Zman. No other Korban we found that. It's a chiyuv. It's part of your Jewish identity. The Havamina is right. It's not misleading that the Kodesh Baruch Hu wrote it this way. Because Aliba de Emes, in principle, that's what should have been. A ger, when he converts, he should do a Korban Pesach the day he converts. On Chanukah, on Tu B'Shvat, on Rosh Chodesh Elul. Yeah, especially according to the Maral that we learn always, that the Korban Pesach and Bris Milah together make a unit of the full Jewish identity. Eved, Oived. You remember Rabbi Yisai? The Eved is the Bris Milah, Oived is Korban Pesach, the Maral Gevaldik Ha'ara, the only time you find the Torah calls one mitzvah, Avodah. You don't find this anywhere else but by Korban Pesach. That the Torah itself calls it Avodah. Va'avadat es Avodah Hazois. And the Ben Arasha asks, Ma ha'avodah hazois lachem. There's no other mitzvah in the Tanakh mitzvahs that the Torah calls it avodah. You could call all of them avodah Hashem. Tefillah shebelev, Chazal called Tefillah is called avodah shebelev. But to find that the Torah calls one mitzvah avodah, where do you find that? Says the Maral, because through Korban Pesach we became Avdei Hashem. That's what happened on this night. We went through this in the previous years. That through the Milah and Korban Pesach, where do you see elsewhere that a Milah and Korban Pesach or a Chavrusa? A Chiv Krisis. On a mitzvah Esser with Chiv Krisis. If you don't do something, Chiv Koris. Unbelievable. It's a Lam She'ebu Maisa. If you don't do anything, it's a Shev Al Taisa. Chiv Koris on a Shev Al Taisa. How do you understand that? Because you have to become a member every year. It's a member. That's your membership to be a Yid. I definitely would have thought that a ger, the Havamim is right. Lamai say it doesn't happen, but not that the Havamim is a mistake. The Havamim is right. Mimele, maybe this could already be an answer why I'm going to make the mistake again in Parshas Baloscha. Because it's not a mistake. Hi, but you still ask. But once you already taught me, okay, it's not a mistake, but don't do it. So why would I think you're going to do it again? That's still ha'ara. Meaning not it's a mistake. I don't need twice to tell me don't make a mistake. You told me once not to do it, I'm not going to make the mistake again. But it's not a mistake. It's emes. A ger ought to bring a Korban Pesach whenever he converts. But Lamai say he doesn't. But again, okay, but Lamai say he doesn't. So why do I need to say it again? So if I say, before you go on, I just want to tell you, I found again in the searching, guys, do you think I just walk into this shir and just start talking? Yes, but still, okay. I went around, I found there's a sefer called Shabbos Shalmi. I don't know who the Mechaber is. No. I had to get my age. Look what he brings the kasha in the sefer. Why do you have to tell me twice that a ger should not bring a korban the day he converts? You said it already in Parshas Boy. Why are you saying it again in Parshas Baloscha? Again, exact same cycle. Yachol kol ha-mizgar yasa pesach miyad, Talmud Lomar. Here the Talmud Lomar is v'ake ezrach, and Parshas Baloscha the Talmud Lomar is chukachas. Okay. Let me read to you something. Adam Gadol said it. He says which is the Adam Gadol, and let's see if you guys could chap who he is. Pirish Rashi, I'm going to read to you. I never chanced to photocopy it. I just found this mamash an hour ago. Yachol kal mizgar yaseh pesach miyad. He's quoting Rashi, this Rashi Baloscha. Talmud Lomar chukachas. Yesh leha'ir. Degabe pesach rishon namiksi v'chi yagur yitchager v'aseh pesach Hashem. Upirish Rashi in Parshas Boy. Yachol kal mizgar yaseh pesach miyad. Talmud Lomar kesach haaretz. V'tzorch biro, my bain limud miyuchad regarding, this is not Pesach Sheni, it's Pesach Rishon, but it was said by Pesach Sheni. Why do you have to say it again? That's what he asks. Yesh lomar. The b'sha'a shenemar leMoshe, Parshas Pesach Rishon in Boy, lo nemar lo, she'im yesh yichidim tmeim, ve'inam yichulim לעשות Pesach Rishon, sheyesh em teshlum b'Pesach Sheni. You hear him say? Yeah? It was before Pesach Sheni was said. רק אחר כך זכו אותם אנשים שהיו טמאים לנפש אדם, ששאלו שאלה הזאת לפני מוישה, ואמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא שיעשו פסח שני, שמגלגל ניצחו סיידי זכר כתפירש רש"י. וכן היה אפשר לומר, רק בתחילה, שעדיין לא נאמר פסח שני, ונקבע רק זמן אחד לפסח לכולם, לכן גם גר שנסגר אינו עושה מהפסח רק בי"ד, כמו כולם. אבל לאחר שנסחדש פסח שני, שיש זמן נוסף ליחידים, שלא יכולים לעשות בראשון, אם כן קיבלתם בין כך לא כולם עושים פסח בזמן אחד, שהטהורים עושים בראשון והטמאים בשני, סלגא דייתך ולא אכפת לי אם הגר יעשה פסח מיד כשנסגר. אבל זמן נוסף. לזה יצטרך הכוסם לומר שנית, שהגר לא יעשה פסח מיד כשנסגר. Who do you think said this? It's Murdik. Hagoin Rav Moshe Shapiro Shlita. Then he was Shlita. This is our Unzer Rav Moshe Shapiro. Ve'advorim Yofi L'Misha Amram. I don't see the smiling.
I didn't grasp it.
Okay. So that's a good reason not to smile. If you didn't grasp, it's a good reason. That's so that could be doing. By the way, do you have a brother who's a dentist?
Sorry?
A brother who's a dentist? Or a cousin who's a dentist? No, okay. Bukon also looks a little bit similar. Not related. Okay. Rabbi Shapir says the following. Before the Torah was Mechadish Pesach Sheni, and Parshas Boy lays for rest this concept. Maybe the Ger should do a Korban Pesach when he converts. The Torah says, no, you shouldn't have. There's one date for everybody. Once comes Pesach Sheni and says there's an alternative date. So now maybe we'll pop up this whole album. So let's have an alternative date for the year. Because now it's not one date for everyone. Some do on Yudal, most do on Yudal, Yechidim do on Tezwa on Yudal per year. So maybe maybe it's open again for a discussion. Therefore, the Torah has to nevertheless say again that no. Ad kan divrei Rav Moshe. So what does it come out, Rav Moshe? What was in Pasha's boy? What's the melimud? It's one date for everyone. Maybe that's like I mean, you have to say Yudalit Nisan. Just say Yudalit. The focus is not the Nisan. The focus is it's one date. Everybody does it on the 14th. Which month? It doesn't make a difference now. A Grana, it's Nisan. Grana. But that's not my point. Again, according to the way Moshe is learning, we're saying maybe there's other dates for Pesach. There's one date for everyone. And no exception. And the Ger will join them. What's the Ger? Yudalit. Which month? No sure. That's not my point. My point is to say it's only one day. Isn't it Geshmakas? But now comes Pesach Sheni and again we say, it's not one date anymore. There's 2 dates. If there's 2 dates, so maybe now let's reconsider that a ger should do it on this day, because there is a logic for it. The Torah has to again say no, don't. That's what Rav Moshe says. I never knew that Rav Moshe said it. I spoke to tonight in the last hour with 3 Talmidim of Rav Moshe to know if they ever heard this. No, they didn't. They don't. This Yechiel Fischel Rosner brings it. Apparently, Rav Kaduri is not a Rishon because he's quoting Rav Moshe Shapiro. So a Rishon he's not. Okay? Right. And I think it's a teretz where it says Abba. So I'm not interested in the date. I'm interested to know, is it one for everyone, or is it one size fits all? That's what the Dal comes and says. Okay? That I think is super geshmak. I just want to go on the other side. The Ramban speaks about not about the Havamina, maybe a ger should do again. The Ramban says another Nakuda. Why do you have to tell me again that a ger should do a Korban Pesach? Miyad, not miyad, that's the issue that Rashi deals with. But why are you saying again that he has to do a Korban Pesach? You said it already in Parshas Boy. Why are you saying it again? That's the Ramban. The Ramban asked that. And you know what the Ramban answers? Very glad. And Rav Kaduri, this time you're right. This is a Rishon. Ramban is a Rishon. Migdoyle Rishonim. Right? Yeah, so I'll read you the Lashon. V'tam v'chiyagur itchem ger, letzavot again בפסח, של המדבר. וייתכן, כי מה שאומר בסדר בו על פרוי, our pasuk, v'chiyagur itcha ger v'yasa pesach l'Hashem, הוא על פסח מצרים. The Pesach they did in Egypt. כי הפרשה היא על פסח מצרים נאמרה. כאשר פירשתי שם. והיה במשמע כי הגרים, which game did you have in Pesach מצרים? What would you say? Which game did you have? The Erev Rav. כי הגרים היוצאים ממצרים ערב רב יעשו פסח. That's what it says. שאף הם היו בו ישוע נס. They came out of מצרים as well. אבל המסגרים אחר כך, the ones who joined עם ישראל later on, במדבר או בארץ, לא יתחברו בפסח. Maybe they don't. שלא היה לא הם ולא אבוסיהם בכלל, ואוסנו הוצאים משם. Maybe שפטת הגרים, later גרים, those who experienced Yetzias Mitzrayim, even though they're Gerim, fine. But those who didn't experience, maybe they don't have to do Korban Pesach. The ones who converted later. That's the Ramban. So Ramban says there's a need to repeat again that Gerim should do a Korban Pesach because the Gerim which are mentioned in Parshas Bo is a Pesach Mitzrayim. And which Gerim did you have then? Erev. There's a whole brisker that quotes this Ramban that shows that there was an Indian of Gerus even before Matan Torah. The brisker goes to town with this one. In this week's parsha, he quotes this Ramban. Okay? But it's not Mamash Gerus. Like Mamash Dina Gerus. Okay? He was able to raise it. He's called the Tchil Gerim. You're right.
Does the Ramban explain why it changes from V'chiyagur to
No, that it doesn't explain.
It does, no?
Why it's here it says Itchen, here it says Itchen?
Yeah, because by Yetzias Mitzrayim it means you, just you. Whereas the V'chiyagur Itchem and Pesach Sheni means the Doris.
So the Doris means Itchem, and if it's just that door, you say Utcha?
It's more singular.
It's more singular because I'm speaking to those who were there.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Mechanat Dikduk you're right. I'm speaking to the 2 million people that were there, and not to the millions that will be later. So since they're there, you could say Lashon Yachid. Okay, like you're moving your head, which means I can't get my head around it. That's what it means. When you move the head, you can't get your head around it. But I can hear. I'll just tell you maybe another Deher. By the way, what do you see from this Ramban? What you said there's a Tosfos that speaks about Afen Yubo Isanes. Is that a svar to b'chayv midoraisa or only midorabbanan? Tosfos speaks about it. Afen Yubo Isanes. I don't remember the doraisa element. I don't remember now. But he says, he has a suffix, Tosfos. Look at this Ramban. The Ramban says, why would I think that the Gerim in Yitzias Mitzrayim are chayiv? Afen Yubo Isanes. That's what he says. L'choi, you can bring a right from this Ramban that the Svar Sha'afen Yubo Isanes is applicable to the Raisa. I'm explaining a pasuk in Chumash according to that. Right now, Kadoli.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, I spoke to him also tonight. I have a big telephone bill for tonight. It's okay. He told me it's all right. He went to tighten it up. Tosfos speak about if there's no pasuk, no nothing. I just have the Svar Afen Yubo Isanes. Is that the Raisa or the Rabbanan? But when you have a pasuk in Chumash written and you're explaining it because Afen Yubo Isanes, maybe that's what Tosfos spoke about. Tosfos spoke about I don't have a pasuk. I have nothing. I just have this Svar Afen Yubo Isanes. Does that work in the Raisa or not? Tosfos is mistapik. But the Ramban speaking, I have a pasuk. I just want to know what to limit the pasuk based on the Svar Afen Yubo Isanes. Maybe that you could do. That's what Rabbi Hadar Margolian told me tonight. So maybe it's not right. Okay, we say.
I mean, in Sukkot we say, "Basukkos teshu shilas yom kol ha'ezrach b'Yisrael yeshu basukkos." So Rashi says.
He's right. Sukkot.
Rashi says, "Kol ha'ezrach zeh ezrach b'Yisrael rabbos hagerim." It's the same. Also, so it goes out of its way to be mechayev gerim, even though they might not have experienced the underneath cover of the midbar.
Meaning the Gerim of today. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. But, Rabbi Yom Shkoyach, Mimokim Shabbos, how come by Sukkot it's a hay that tells you about a Ger, and by Pesach it's Meferish Psukim? What is it about that hour?
Yeah.
Ha-Ezrach, it says an extra hay. An extra hay means a Ger. So how do you know a Ger sits in a Sukkah? A hay. How do you know a Ger brings a Korban Pesach? Two Meferish Psukim. How come by Sukkot it's a hay, and by and on Pesach it's a whole pasuk? Twice. This kasha Rabbi Yonasan David asks. Rabbi said today we're hitting gold every point. L'or what Rabbi Yonasan is saying, I remind myself that that's what Rabbi Yonasan David asks. How come by Sukkot you're marba ager with a hay, and here you're marba ager with the fresh pasuk both adds twice?
Is it B'Yisrael, the Rabbi says Hagerim?
I think it says Ezra.
Or Ezrach, Zeh Ezrach. B'Yisrael, the Rabbi says Hagerim.
Maybe you're right. So it's not the hay, it's B'Yisrael. Okay. Okay.
Still a question.
Either way, it's a remez. It's not a Meferish pasuk. You're right. I thought it's the hay. It's not. Shkoyach. Okay, we say.
Is it possible to say it's teretz b'shut? The kitzur or is a long-winded teretz?
What? I'm sorry.
His teretz to the kasha. Rabbi David's teretz.
I don't remember if it's teretz, but I remember when I spoke it over with my brother-in-law about it, we came up with the teretz. That by Korban Pesach, it is a gerus thing. A Sukkot is not gerus, so you're including him also. Beribui. Pesach, he belongs here, the ger, because we all became ger. He's not like, okay, let's also include him. That's what we want to say that. As far what?
It's only a kasha that comes to the Ramban. The way Rashi learns, the question doesn't start.
Which Ramban?
The way the Ramban is learning the pasuk.
Yeah, that's
so the Ramban is saying that the chiddush of the pasuk is that the ger should bring a Korban Pesach.
Right.
According to Rashi, it's obvious that a ger brings a Korban Pesach.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one.
The only question is that maybe
No.
he should
The pasuk was written again, but maybe it means even miyad. On the Havamina miyad, that's what Rashi's talking about. I don't think he's right. Listen, he asked the question, why are you saying it again? He has to deal with the Ramban's kasha. Why is the Torah repeating itself? Rashi's speaking about the Havamina, Yechol miyad. But I don't think he's arguing the fact that the pasuk says the ger has to do a Korban Pesach. But again, the way it's worded, also over there you have the same phenomena. Again, it doesn't say a date. It's misleading. And again, the same story. Again, the same story. Now, I'll tell you the truth. The Even Ezra says, and he brings two opinions, that this pasuk, the Chi Yagur Yitchem Ger, is speaking about Pesach Sheni, not Pesach Rishon. All the Rishonim, I think even the Gemara learns it's Pesach Rishon. The Gemara Pesach Daf Tzaddik Gimel. That is done. But the Even Ezra says that this pasuk is speaking about Pesach Sheni. If it's true, what the Even Ezra says, it's not only the Even Ezra, it's Tanoim about it. It's Machlokes the Gemara. But I say, if it's true, it's so understood why it says there, V'chi Yagur Itchem. And here it says, V'chi Yagur Itcha. What Ramchal was addressed before. The Maharal explains in Gurs that Pesach Rishon is for the nation, and Pesach Sheni is for the Yechidim. Black and white. And he proves it, and he goes into it. Pesach Rishon is for the Ummah. The Ummah brings. Pesach Sheni is, okay, there's some individuals who couldn't make it on Pesach Rishon because they were Tamil and Nefesh Adam. Fine. But it's Yechidim. Comes the rule of everyone. A nation is Lashon Yachid. Yechidim is Lashon Rabim. So therefore, according to Even Ezra, and according to that shita that says it's Pesach Sheni, Me'od Muvan, why it says V'chi Yagur Itchem. It's Yechidim. He's amongst you guys who wants to do Pesach Sheni. Masha'en Pashas Boy is speaking about Pesach Rishon, which is a din of tzibur, and that the Goyen says in Adair Elio, even though there's many rights to the opposite. I once collected, I found like 10 rights to here and 10 rights to there. When it says Loshen Yochid, does it include everyone? A nation. What includes everyone? What's Loshen Rabim and Loshen Yochid? Begin to on a nation, do you say Loshen Yochid or Loshen Rabim? What? So I have a lot of rice from here and from there. Usfaltem lachem shetiyeh svir lekol echad be'echad. So it's Loshen Yochid. Midach Yisa, what they say in Shir Hasayam, Zeh keli v'anveh, Loshen Yochid. Says the it includes even a shivcha. Says Rashi. Says the Maharal there because Loshen Yochid means each individual, and each individual is also a shivcha. I asked this once to Rabbi Yonatan David. I brought him 10 sources to here, 10 sources to there. He said he doesn't know. That didn't come out clear. Okay, Rabbi say that's this Nakuda. There's another time in this week's Pasha that you have the same question. It's you write this and then you have to rectify it by another thing. Don't write this and don't write that, and everything will be understood. But please, anybody knows what I'm referring to? I think we spoke about it last year.
The number of days in 3 months.
I'm sorry?
The number of days you have 3 months.
Very good, Yitzchak. Yes, come on. Where does it say in this Pasha that you have to Shiva? Where does it say Shiva Siyam Techol Matzos? Yeah, I think it's breaking the Pasuk test. Pasuk Vav, Pasuk test. I think it's Pasuk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
It's Pasuk Vav, you're right. I see a Pasuk test also interesting. What does it say Pasuk Vav? Pasuk test? Shiva Siyam Techol Matzos, okay. Kol Lachem Achmetzes, B'nechasa. Right. Okay, let's give a look at Pasuk Vav. What does it say in Pasuk Vav? Where's the Shivas Yomim? I don't see it. That's Vav. Okay. Shivas Yomim Matzos Yachad. Tochlo. Says Rashi. Yeah, you're right, Rabbi. It's Pasuk as well. Ubemokam Akal Omer Sheshes Yomim Tochlo Matzos.
Ready. Design.
Right. That's the first way. Lamed al Shvi Shel Pesach Sheino Choyba. It says 6, and then it says 7. It means the 7th day is not compulsory. Okay, then it goes on, Rashi. Ubivat Shel Echel Chametz. Minayin Af Shisha Rishus. How do you know that also the first 6 days is a Rishus? Talmud Davar Shesh Yom Yuzum Midah B'Torah. Davar She'ah B'Chlal ויצא מן הכלל ללמד. לא למד על עצמו בלבד יצא, אלא למד כלל כולו יצא. מהשביעי רשוס, אף שישי רשוס. יכול אף לילה הראשון רשוס? So maybe ליל הסדר is also רשוס? תלמוד לומר בערב תאכלו מצות. HaKatuv Kvol Choyva. Asks Rabbi Mizrach, look what's going on over here. I have over here it says Shivas Yom Tuchel Matzos. And then it says in Pashas Reis Sheshes Yom Tuchel Matzos. That means the 7th day is not compulsory. That sheds a light also the first 6 days in the days is not compulsory. Maybe the night is also not compulsory. I have another pasuk. You know what? Don't write Sheshes, don't write Shivas, just write Ba'el Tuchel Matzos. Vizel. Rishus means it's optional. It's like if you want to eat an apple. You want to eat an apple, you want to eat a carrot, you want to eat matzah, you could. I don't know pasuk tell you that. So Rabbi Mizrach says, don't write Shivas, and then don't write Sheshes, and then you'll think even the first night is Rishus, and then you need Be'erev Techul Matzos. Just write Be'erev Techul Matzos. B'Shalom HaYisrael.
How are we going to have 7 days of Yom Chometz?
No, not mitzvah. We should have matzah, not no comments. The mitzvah of eating matzah. Says the Maharal, I'm worried to get there. It's such a London. He says the other 6 days are Rishus. I mean, the other days in the day it's Rishus. What will be if someone's going to sit on the 4th day of Chol Hamoed and say, I'm eating now matzah for Choyva? He's making a mistake. That's not Choyva. It's Rishus. But is he over in Baal Tosef? What would you say? Yeah. He's adding a mitzvah which doesn't exist. Says the Maharal, since the Torah said Shivas Yom Tuchel Matzos, you're not over Baal Tosef even though he's making a mistake. Baal Tosef means you're adding something totally foreign which has nothing to do with this mitzvah. The boy said this teretz of the Maharal made waves in the world. A lot of people quote it. A lot of strong quote it. It's a murdik anfal. Such an insight. It said, if it would have said anything, just eat matzah the first night. So then, if he'll eat matzah on the 4th day of Chol Hamoed, Hashem Choyva, he's over Baal Tosef. Legamre. But if it does say Pshuto Shemikra Shivas Yom Tuchel Matzos. Elamah, you wiggle out of it. It's good enough to say that he's not over Baal Tosef. Because there is something of matzahs throughout the 7 days as well. And that's what Rabbi Shapiro said in the Maharal, which again, I don't know if you're allowed to say, but he said it's all quoted. Lamdan per excellence. His lumdus is unbelievable. Whoever has to go down the line, please. Nevis.
I'm going to go to a chasna.
What?
I'm going to go to a chasna.
Chasna. Masno. Wait, you go till now? Wow. Is it in the area?
He's a stamp tip.
Oy vey.
It's
Okay.
starting now. It's starting.
Just about
Oh, I think it's starting now. I see. But you should always go to Simchas. So that's the Kabbalah Torah wrote Shivas Yom, and that should be Baal Tosef. And then there's a sefer called the Reishis Bikurim. You know who wrote it? Avram Rosen, a Goin Oilam who died in the Shoah. A Talmud of the Avnei Nezer. I think he's called Avram. We got him written down. I think it's Rosenfeld. Goin Oilam. And he quotes this Maharal. And he does with it mamish, unbelievable thing. What's the term? You know what he wants to say with that? What do you say about the Kli Chemda? I'm sorry, that's the Kli Chemda. I know the Goin Oilam. You know what he wants to say? Tosef says, when we do Tkiyas to Miyushav, Tkiyas to, why is it called Baal Tosef? That's Tosef's kasha. You add Tkiyas to Miyushav, why is it? Tosef says. Says that Kli Chemda, he quotes someone that says, since the Torah called it Yom Teruah, so the whole day is the day of Shofar. There'll never be Baal Tosef here, based on this Maharal. Yom Teruah means the whole day is suitable for Tkiyas.
So if he has Kavanas with 500 skiers, or same idea.
The same day, he won't be over Baal Tosef. He won't be over Baal Tosef. Okay, all right, so we'll stop here. I want to thank the Oilam for enabling me, to forcing me to prepare something, and then it's good for the Jews. You know, Bruce, I told you, today it's not so, but you remember maybe when we were